Gardener, the Rise of Wealth, where we're educating people on money and activating hope and then rewriting money stories to help people build real wealth. But I'm so excited today because I'm here to introduce you to my friend, Stefan Gonick. Yay! He is with EFT-Alive, and isn't he handsome? He got the memo. We're both wearing red today. Now, he does color his beard white for wisdom. No, I'm just kidding. But facts, he has been an EFT practitioner for 25 years. Holy smokes. But you've been working with people, even with therapy, for how long, Stefan?
A little over 31 years.
Holy smokes. But you don't look 92. Ha, 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 ha. He actually has twins, 3-year-olds. And wouldn't you say, using what you know and your practice, that's how you found the love of your life as well?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Y'all, he's got a fantastic story. You have got to look him up to learn about his love life and that beautiful story. And his wife is beautiful inside and out. And but anyways, Stefan has been my own personal mentor and supervisor while I was getting certified in EFT. And we're going to tell you what that is, because y'all are probably like, what? And stay tuned, because at the end, we are actually going to do an activation, a strategy, a technique to help you break through some of your resistance to money today. That's Stefan's gift to us. What a gift. He is a level 3 advanced practitioner with emotional freedom technique and a master trainer, matrix re-imprinting practitioner. That's for anyone that has trauma in their life that needs to rework some things, and he might clean up what I say in a minute. And he has an ask and receive practitioner. But I invited Stefan here today because I can give you all the information on money. I can give you all the ideas and ways to make your money grow safely. But if your story around money is more of a horror film than a love story, you need to address that first. So since I like to do everything efficiently and fast, that's how I got introduced to EFT. It is a much quicker, faster, results-oriented tool. I actually use it when I'm having a crazy day, and then I do just a couple of rounds. You'll see what I'm talking about later. And then I'm all clear and ready to rock and roll and be my happy little self. So welcome, Stefan. I'm so excited you're here.
I'm thrilled to be here.
So cool. Well, okay. Have you seen in what you do people stuck with their money story?
Many, many times.
Yeah.
It's one of my specialty areas. So people come to me, and everybody can be stuck no matter what level they're at. So some people are at a more moderate level of financial income, and their aspiration is to make a lot more money. And then there's people who are making already $1 million a year, and their aspiration is to make 20. So, right. But they feel stuck, like they've hit a ceiling, a personal ceiling for some reason that they can't figure out. And they come to me because they want help with it, because they realize it's not like a lack of knowledge or something like that. They just seem to be blocked in taking certain steps that they know they need to take, they want to take, and they just can't seem to do it, or they do it very sort of haphazardly, or they do it and they mess it up in ways that they don't normally mess up other things. And it's like, it's like, what is going on here?
And that's yes. And for those of y'all that don't know about emotional freedom technique, it's also called tapping. I recommend you Google it first. Okay. Play with it for a minute. Stefan may be like, no. But I will say there is so much more genius and breakthrough when you have a practitioner working with you. There's something about having an outside person that can see the pitfalls before you fall in them, right? And but so let's talk about money blocks first of all. Like, how do we get them? What are they? What are some common ones? What have you experienced?
So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to talk about some common blocks that chances are you have at least some of them if you're feeling blocked. And then I'm going to give you a short exercise that you can use to identify any personal idiosyncratic blocks that are just specific to you.
Awesome.
So we won't do the exercise so much as I'll just tell you how to do it, so you can do it on your own. And then we'll end with a tapping script where we'll actually go through a tapping process to help make some shift, right now. A tapping script like this is helpful to a degree. If you want to really go deep and clear out major blocks, usually you have to work with somebody. By
Yes.
the way, I wanted to mention one thing about tapping. It's a weird looking thing. It involves tapping on acupuncture points on your face and your body. I'm doing it right now. It's strange. Nobody knows for sure how it works, but there's over 200 research studies proving that it does work and is very effective. So it's one of these weird things. It's like, well, I don't know why it works, but it works. That's all that matters.
I would just say if your husband's making you mad at a dinner party, don't do it at the dinner party. Like, go in the other room.
Actually, there's a way to do it at the dinner party where you're not tapping on these points, you're tapping on fingertip points. You just put your hand below the table and nobody will see what you're doing. And it's like,
Yes, I can live another day.
right. So it's a tool for rapidly releasing negative emotions and negative beliefs. So in a nutshell, that's what it's for.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And while you're talking, I'm going to also post up. I think I found Stefan because of his business mastery. He has a background as well in computer science. And so I really appreciated him. So I'm also going to share this link with him. So if you are looking for any kind of marketing for your business, if you're in EFT, go check out this website as well. But okay, Stefan, back to you.
Or any kind of coaching, really.
Yes. Yeah. This is amazing. It works for anything. We're just focusing on money today because all of y'all have money issues. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, it's hard to know somebody who doesn't have money issues.
Mm-hmm.
So, common blocks. So I chunked them down to categories. So one of the most common categories is the category of fear of failure, right? So lots of times, some people they have such an, let's say they want to start a new business or get trained for a new profession or something, and they find themselves procrastinating and putting it off and not doing it. And if you look underneath, what's going on there is that there's this fear of failure. And I'm going to go into where that comes from, but they have this fear of failure that's strong enough that they sort of subconsciously rationalize that, well, if I fail and don't try or try halfway, I didn't really try. So I didn't really fail. But that guarantees failure, right? If you don't really try or you only try halfway, it's very unlikely you're going to succeed, right?
Yeah, 100% failure when you don't even try. Yes.
Right. And yet it doesn't feel as bad because it's like, well, I didn't try. So there's that rationalization. Okay. So where can the fear of failure come from? So most of this stuff comes from childhood. But one of them doesn't for fear of failure. So the first one is if you have very critical parents who are looking for, when you were a child growing up, looking for what was wrong rather than what's right in what you're doing, always pointing out what's wrong. That can create fear of failure because you end up feeling like nothing I ever do is right, right? Everything I do is wrong. And that's going to affect you the most, the more important the thing is that you're doing. So lots of times people find that things of medium importance aren't really a big problem because the stakes aren't that high. So they're not that worried about failing. But when the stakes are high because it's something super important, like trying to start a new business or level up in some way, then all of a sudden our subconscious fears just really flare up. So critical parents are always looking for what's wrong instead of right, that'll do it. There's another one that's similar to that, but not quite the same, which is parents who have super high expectations. So it's not that they're necessarily pointing out what's wrong. They're just saying that what you did wasn't good enough, right? So if you do, so for instance, I have a client who, if you got 5 A's and a B on a report card, his parents would say, well, that's pretty good, but next time you could do better, right? It's like 5 A's and a B, that's awesome. It's not pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a sense
I was thrilled.
right. But that's the point is that these super high expectations where it's really hard to live up to them. So the person might be, kind of turn into a perfectionist, and perfectionism is a huge block when, again, you're dealing with something important because it's a part of you that recognizes you're probably not going to do it perfectly. And that becomes really intense because, then you subconsciously, you're afraid of your parents' disapproval. Like, oh, that's pretty good, but next time you'll do better. So that's one. Now there's another one though that can happen at any age. So, most of the stuff I'm talking about are kind of from childhood. Here's my therapy cat. And this one is sometimes, this happens for some people, there'll be something that they do at some point in their life that is super important to them, and they'll go full out, right? Just go to the max, go full out, put their heart and soul into it, put a ton of time into it to the max, and then it'll fail. And they'll be so traumatized by that one real life failure for something super important that they'll be very gun shy to encounter, to experience the same thing again.
Right.
So, right. So, when you think about entrepreneurs, the average number of times that an entrepreneur has to start a business before they become successful is 3, right? Now, it might take more than 3 business attempts to become successful. It may take a little less. But even if you just say 3, that means you have to fail at your first 2 attempts before you succeed in your third one. So if you have this block where after the first attempt, you're so traumatized by it that you can't even make your second attempt, that's a problem. Okay, so we have fear. Yeah.
And what happens in your body when all that happens? Because how do we even know, like, oh, I'm just coasting along, and how do I even know that I need to address it?
Well, one is that you'll feel a contraction in your body. Like when we're feeling good, we experience an expansion, right? And you can easily test this for yourself just by think of something that gives you a lot of pleasure, and then once you get in touch with it, notice your body and notice that you're like more expansive, more open. And if you think about something that really upsets you and you get in touch with it and then you feel your body, you'll notice you've gone, you've contracted, right?
It's so good because I don't think people slow down long enough to even think about that. So that's great.
Right. Another way to tell, though, is when things are mysterious. Like, why can't I do this, right? There's this thing I know I got to do. It's important. I want to do it, but I can't seem to do it. Or I do it in this really weird half-hearted way and stuff. And it's like, I seem to be my own worst enemy. What's going on here? And in that situation, you're going to have these subconscious emotional blocks, which we'll continue talking about, but it's guaranteed. All right. So next, another category. So fear of failure is a very common one, but fear of success, surprisingly, is also really common. And it seems strange. Like, why would I have a fear of success? Success is good, right? But again, there can be subconscious reasons why success can feel like a problem. So I have a list here. One reason why success itself can be scary is that it can feel dangerous to be successful for some people. So I'll give you examples of that. One example is I'm afraid that if I'm successful, so let's say I make $80,000 a year, and then I do all this great stuff, and now I make $200,000 a year. So a nice, big, successful result, right? One of the things that I might be afraid of is getting attacked for my success. So one of the ways that could happen growing up is, let's say you had a sibling, brother or sister, and as a child, you were the more successful one. You got better grades, you more popular or something, more athletic, something where you had a nice success and you got recognition for it in your family. And your sibling was jealous and they expressed that jealousy in an aggressive way. It's like, they start attacking you. So it'd be like, oh yeah, you think you're so great. You're nothing special, and blah, blah, blah. So this happens at a young age when we're kind of defenseless against it, and it's very painful.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the subconscious feeling as an adult that if I'm really successful, I'll get attacked out of the blue. I won't even see it coming.
Right.
So it feels like, I'm exposed, I'm vulnerable to attack. So that's one. Another one is a fear that, well, if I'm successful and I'm making a lot of money, I will feel obligated to take care of my family members financially, right? Because I'm going to have a lot of money. It's not that, there's nothing wrong with taking care of our family from the goodness of our heart. But this is more of a place where I feel like I have to. It's not a choice.
Right.
And it can feel really burdensome and like you can resent it. So that'd be another, again, these weird, subtle relational fears that if I'm successful, yay. On the other hand, there'll be all these ramifications in my relationships. Another one is I'm afraid, again, for safety, sort of being attacked or is dangerous, that people will try and take advantage of me. Like, oh, look at that, Mark. they've come into money recently. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I've got this investment, I
Oh
can,
yeah.
yeah, we'll triple your money in 1 year, some that kind of
Right.
stuff. But you can, people can try and take advantage of you,
Yes.
and and that could feel dangerous and scary. Another one that can feel bad is I'm afraid that people will like me for my money instead of me. So if I have money and I show it, then all these people will start to like me. Actually, there's this guy on YouTube has all these videos of the exact same thing. There's some very pretty woman hanging out. It turns out he has this really hot car, right?
Oh,
And there's this woman hanging out right near his car. She might even be kind of leaning against his car. And he'll walk up to her and start talking to her, and she'll just brush him off. And then he uses a little remote to start the engine of the car, and the car will go like that. And she's like, "Whoa!" And she goes, "Oh, is this your car?" And he goes, "Yeah, it is." And she goes, "Oh, could you take me for a ride?" And all of a sudden now she's being really nice to him. Where before she was being very, like, "Get away from me. I don't
mhm.
talk to somebody like you."
Right. Gold digger.
Right? Gold digger, exactly. So, there's a fear. There can be a fear of that kind of thing. Another category. A lot of these are very relational. So another one is feeling bad or guilty that your success may lead to somebody else's pain in your family or close relationships. So, um, like for instance, the case of a jealous sibling. So some jealous siblings will attack, right, for when they're jealous, but some jealous siblings will just look really hurt and sad and defeated. Like, oh yeah, my sister, my brother is so successful and so great, and then I can't do anything like that.
Yeah.
And, if you love your sibling, you don't want your sibling to feel bad. So there's a lot of people who will find themselves holding back on their degree of success out of fear of hurting their sibling, or it could be a parent. So for instance, let's say, your father was the breadwinner and made X amount of dollars a year. And then, you really work at being successful and you're making 3 times, 5 times what he made. You might be really worried about how that's going to make him feel. I mean, maybe he'll be thrilled, but maybe he'll feel, pretty bad that my offspring so outclassed me.
But
So
you know
that could
what's
be,
funny, Stefan, is all the stories we like to tell ourselves. And if we don't like one, we'll go find another. So we keep ourselves stuck because the story's not right.
that's right. So, but mostly people aren't aware of even having any of these because
Mm,
it's not like as I'm, trying to work on my business, I'm going, oh my gosh, my sister Suzanne, I don't want her to feel bad if I succeed. It's not, these are not conscious thoughts. They're there, they're inside of us, subconscious, and they are impacting us greatly, but we're not aware of it. So that's why I have this list is that these are really common ones. And you just go through it. Just go, does this apply to me? Check in, think about a sibling, all your siblings. No. Or, oh my God, yeah.
yeah.
I'm terrified of hurting so and so. So it's really helpful to get in touch with this stuff.
And let me jump in. I did say I like efficiency.
Yeah.
And there are some people that go to therapists for 2 years to work through this stuff, or they pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of coaching for business coaching, but you could probably have 6 sessions. It might take 10, I don't know, to work through some of these with EFT. So it can be much more efficient, especially with
Well, that's a great point. There's these people have these famous business marketing people online that have these, excuse me, expensive programs, either recorded or even live programs, right? That cost $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000.
yes.
And the dirty little secret is that when people, let's say they have 100 people sign up for one of these programs and they're in it, they just spent a lot of money. Maybe they spent $20,000 on it. And only 2% of the attendees of any one program actually come out successful at the end. And 90% don't. And it's not because they're dumb. It's not
No.
because, or the teaching was bad or something like that. Is that most people have these blocks. So if
Right.
you do some kind of business coaching and you find that you're not getting the results that you were hoping to get, this is why, right? It's not
Yes.
the lack of knowledge and information and all that.
Yeah, I was a professional sales coach for 9 years, and that's why I added the certification of EFT at the time, because I was like, part of this needs to be cleaned up you need to clean up your story. Change it from
Right.
horror to love.
Right. And so when I help coaches, with the marketing of their business, this is always part of it. Is well, and I'll be talking about, okay, this is the next step in setting up everything for yourself. And if they do it easily, okay, no block there, right? But then the next step after that, say, okay, how here it is next on our next session, we'll see how it's going. And then they'll do the session and they go, oh, and normally they're like really gung ho
Yeah.
and efficient, getting fast to get things done. And this time they go, yeah, I just couldn't seem to get to that one. This the last one we did, and I don't know what happened. So they go, okay, emotional block is present. It's the clear answer every time. And so then we'll just find out what it is, do the tapping process to clear it, and then the next time we meet, I'll say, okay, how about that last step? And they go, no problem. Run
Yeah.
right through it.
Yeah, I love it. When someone is working on money blocks, or someone has a business and they're working on, because I guess let's be specific on this. If they're working on money or a business that they're trying to develop and they're working through that process, how many sessions does it usually take for them to see a breakthrough? I know that's a hard question.
Yeah, especially in a vague, general sort of way like that.
Yeah. Well, because, and here's why,
It depends on
Gay.
how many blocks there are. Some
Yeah.
people, we do, I do this whole, somebody comes to me knowing they have blocks and that's what they want help with. So I'm not helping with their marketing. They say, yeah, I'm just really stuck in my business. Can you help me? So, we'll spend the first session looking for and identifying all the blocks. And at the end of the first session, we'll have a list, right? So we may have just 2 blocks, but see, even 1 block can completely stop you in your tracks.
Yes.
So they maybe only have 1, or they have 2, or they have 3, or they have 5. So it really depends on how many blocks they have, because per block it can take anywhere from 1 to 3 sessions. So it doesn't take very many.
Yeah.
So if you have 3 blocks, 1 to 3 sessions, that's somewhere between 3 and 9 sessions, right?
So if y'all are thinking, I might have some blocks, I need to work with Stefan and figure this out, y'all, you might be 2 months away from exploding your business or exploding your money situation because you just handled it. So that's kind of exciting, because I spent a year in a coaching program and spent a whole lot of money and nothing changed. I actually went backwards.
That's what happens for people.
Yeah.
It happens so much. And the cool thing is, it's also deductible for your taxes, right?
Yes.
It's a business expense.
Yes. But, and I would say
it's not therapy. It's, working on your business so you can deduct it.
Yeah. And I would say have a chat with him, because you might go, nah, I'll pass. But it is interesting. But it makes a huge difference. I recommend EFT to people all the time. I ran into a neighbor. She is grieving her dad, who just passed away at 96. I'm like, girl, EFT. And I saw a stressed out lady at work. I'm like, girl, EFT. I mean, everything. I'm like, you just need to do some EFT. It fixes a whole lot. When I'm scattered in my thinking, I'm just trying to get focused in. That happens with me. EFT, and then back to normal. Would you walk us through your, is it Abundance and Wealth Building? What's it called?
Well, I can do, you talk about the tapping script?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'd like to name one more block that's a really common one.
Yes.
Well, actually, I have a couple more, but can I do the whole list, or should we just try and keep it as short as possible?
Tell us one more.
All right. So this one I put into the category of comfort zone and/or identity.
Oh, that's a big one.
That's a huge one. So lots of times our identity holds a certain degree of success. So just to throw a number around, it's like my identity includes the ability to earn $100,000 a year, right? And that fits within my identity. And maybe, stretching a little bit from that is not too bad. So going from 100 to 120, probably not too bad. But if I think, okay, I want to double it to $200,000 a year, now all of a sudden, this doesn't fit my identity. It's not within my comfort zone of who I am. And that can be a block, as simple as that. Now, ironically, or not, I guess not ironically, but nicely, wonderfully, that's actually a really, really quick one to clear. That one I can almost always clear in one session. This comfort, it's a very powerful block. It seems so simple because there's not a lot of thinking to it. It's just kind of like, this is the words would be, my goal. That's just not who I am, right? That's not me. And so you can tap on that and shift it so that now it is this new goal is me. Now, interestingly, if you then raise the goal from 200,000 to 500,000, you might have to do it again because you
Sure,
just
sure.
expand your identity to now be to include 200,000, but it doesn't include 500,000. So you just do it again. But it's a quick process, so it's very easy, and it's
And
actually I can teach it in one session.
some of the people watching might be in crazy debt. I have a friend that says, "Well, I'll never get out of debt, so who cares that I run my credit cards?" Well, hold on. So that can even be a poor identity that's not accurate. So any of that, any of these topics, Stefan can help you, and I recommend go follow him
Yeah.
on YouTube. Go
You don't have to
follow.
keep keep promoting here.
Yeah,
There's yeah. Also, the identity might be a family identity. So sometimes we just have our own independent of our family. Sometimes there's a family of identity of, this is who we are. We're not rich people, right? This is who we are. We're middle class. This is who we are in this family. Which is becomes up another, afraid to make people feel bad block, which is if my family has that identity, and then all of a sudden I become way more successful, it can make me feel like I'm no longer part of my family. So I feel estranged. And that can feel really bad, right? I can also feel bad that I might be hurting them. So that's kind of back to the earlier one. But I can literally feel like I'm being disloyal to my family and separating from them. So I no longer belong in the family. So that's yet another block. So I wanted to give you real quick an exercise to help you get in touch with any personal specific blocks to you, right? Because these are common ones, but they don't apply to everybody. And yours, you may have others as well. And it's a very simple process. You imagine your goal. So let's say the goal is I want to start this business and make $1 million a year. That's my goal. And so you bring up your goal and then you close your eyes and you imagine having already succeeded and now you're living the goal. And then notice what comes up. Now, the first thing that comes up might be excitement, like, yay, I did it. I got all this money and my business is successful. Everything's great. But if you sit with it longer, these other things will start percolating up. And there'll be fears and or negative beliefs associated with having achieved that goal. And that little exercise, a little process works really well to uncover subconscious blocks.
yeah. And if you'll walk us through, you can pick any topic you want that you want us to tap on. I just like people to see the process and what does that even look like, and show them how weird does it look.
How weird it looks. Okay. Alrighty. So now you guys don't know how to do this tapping process. So I'm going to have you we're going to do a little Simon Says, right? So I'm going to tap on spots and you're just going to tap along with me and don't worry about getting it in exactly the right place, right? If you're just in the general area, it should work. This tapping script covers a number of the things that I talked about in these common blocks, but I didn't try and do an exhaustive tapping script because it'd be very long.
Yeah.
So we're going to just do what I do. So the first thing I want you to do is start tapping on the side of your hand like this. Okay, and this script is very detailed, so I'm going to be actually reading it. It's hard to remember every little thing. So I want you all to just start tapping quickly on the side of your hand, your fingers like that. And I want you to repeat out loud after me or quietly, either way. I'm going to give have a pause long enough for you to repeat the thing that I just said. And right now, don't question it. Take a big explanation to understand why we're doing what we're doing, but just go with it and try and get into it. So repeat after me. Even though I feel blocked from receiving more money and abundance,
Even though I feel blocked about receiving more abundance
and money,
and money, I was like, I forgot something.
there's a block, right? I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyways.
Good. Scroll. Even though a part of me believes it's not safe to have more money,
Even though part of me believes it's not safe to have more money,
I honor this feeling and I'm open to shifting it.
I honor this feeling and I'm open to shifting it.
Even though a part of me believes that having more money is bad,
Even though part of me believes that having more money is bad,
I accept how I feel and I'm ready to shift this belief.
I accept how I feel and I'm ready to shift this belief.
Yeah, actually, I forgot about having money is a bad thing, but it's going to be in the script. All right, so now tapping on the top of your head and just try and get approximately where I am. I feel stuck financially.
I feel stuck financially.
Yeah, that's right. Feels like something always holds me back.
Feels like something's always holding me back.
This side of the eye here. No matter how hard I try, I can't seem to get ahead.
No matter how hard I try, I can't seem to get ahead.
I am tired of struggling with money.
I'm tired of struggling with money.
I feel weighed down by my financial reality.
I feel weighed down by my financial reality.
It's frustrating to want more and not have it.
It's frustrating to want more and not have it.
One thing I should say at the beginning is EFT works by focusing on the negative feelings and tapping so as to release them. You might say like, why are we saying all these negative things? That's what we're trying to release these negative feelings and experiences and beliefs.
Yeah.
Okay. Forgot where I was.
We're here now.
I think here. And I don't know how to change it.
I don't know how to change
it. Actually, sorry, I skipped one. I feel powerless around money.
I feel powerless around money.
Under your arm, all your fingers. And I don't know how to change it.
I don't know how to change it. It's the Italian in me, waving my hands.
All right. I am ready to release this struggle now.
I'm ready to release this struggle now.
All right. Part of me believes that having a lot of money makes me a bad person.
Part of me believes having a lot of money makes me a bad person.
I don't want others to think I'm greedy or selfish.
I don't want others to think I'm greedy or selfish.
I was taught that rich people can't be trusted.
I was taught rich people can't be trusted.
It's safer to stay where I am financially.
It's safer to stay where I am financially.
If I have more money, I might be judged or rejected.
If I have more money, I might be judged or rejected.
What if people get jealous or resent me?
What if people get jealous or resent me? Hey, Stefan, I burped while we were doing this. And burping and yawning usually means things are clearing. Now, I'm not going to do the other things that might mean so.
All right. By the way, I'm tapping with all my fingers at the base of my neck, just so you know what I'm doing there. Okay, now under the arm. I'm afraid of being attacked or taken advantage of if I'm wealthy.
I'm afraid of being attacked or taken advantage of.
If I'm wealthy.
If I'm wealthy.
Right. Back to the top of the head. I'm ready to let go of these beliefs now.
I'm ready to let go of these beliefs now.
What if, now continuing on, what if people get jealous of my wealth?
What if people get jealous of my wealth?
What if they judge me or attack me?
What if they judge me or attack me?
This fear of standing out.
This fear of standing out.
I don't want people to expect me to fix their problems.
I don't want people to expect me to fix their problems.
If I make more money, I'm afraid I'll have to take care of everyone.
If I make more money, I'm afraid I'll have to take care of everyone.
It feels like too much responsibility.
It feels like too much responsibility.
Under the arm. Having more money might mean having to say no to people.
Having more money might be having to say no to people.
Top of the head. And that makes me feel guilty.
And that makes me feel guilty.
And I'm afraid they would be mad at me for saying no.
And I'm afraid they'll be mad at me for saying no.
That's right.
I'm making up stuff in my own head.
This worry about what others will think.
This worry about what others will think.
Yeah. I'm scared of being targeted or resented.
I'm scared of being targeted or resented.
These fears are blocking my abundance.
These fears are blocking my abundance.
I'm ready to release these worries now.
I'm ready to release these worries now.
Good. I feel guilty for wanting more money.
I feel guilty for wanting more money.
Who am I to have so much?
Who am I to have so much money?
Maybe I don't deserve it.
Maybe I don't deserve it.
Making more money just doesn't feel possible for me.
Making more money just doesn't feel possible for me.
That's that identity or comfort zone one. I don't know, and I don't know how to do it.
And I don't know how to do it.
It just seems so hard.
It just seems so hard.
And it doesn't feel like who I am.
And it doesn't feel like who I am.
My current income fits my current identity.
My current income fits my current identity.
It is within my comfort zone.
It is within my comfort zone.
More money would be outside my comfort zone.
More money would be outside my comfort zone.
It's hard to even imagine myself with more money.
It's hard to even imagine myself with more money.
My fears and limiting beliefs make me blind to new opportunities.
My fears and limiting beliefs make me blind to new opportunities.
They are all around me,
They're all around me,
but I just don't see them.
but I just don't see them.
Or maybe I do see some opportunities,
Or maybe I do see some opportunities,
but I feel defeated in advance,
but I feel defeated in advance,
and I don't take any action.
and I don't take any action.
I choose to let go of these limitations.
I choose to let go of these limitations.
Oops. And be open to new possibilities.
And be open to new possibilities.
What if it's safe to have more money?
What if it's safe to have more money?
What if money can be a force for good in my life?
What if money could be a force for good in my life?
I'm open to the idea that I can handle abundance.
I'm open to the idea that I can handle abundance.
I choose to release the old fears and guilt.
I choose to release the old fears and guilt.
I give myself permission to expand financially.
I give myself permission to expand financially.
I'm learning that wealth doesn't make me a bad person.
I'm learning that wealth doesn't make me a bad person.
I can be kind, generous, and financially abundant.
I can be kind, generous, and financially abundant.
I'm ready to welcome more money into my life.
I'm ready to welcome more money into my life.
I'm aligning with the flow of abundance.
I'm aligning with the flow of abundance.
I choose to embrace wealth with joy.
I choose to embrace wealth with joy.
I'm stepping into my power with money.
I'm stepping into my power with money.
Opportunities are all around me.
Opportunities are all around me.
And I'm ready to see them.
And I'm ready to see them.
And I'm ready to take new action to generate my wealth.
And I'm ready to take new action to generate my wealth.
I can use my money to uplift my life and others.
I can use my money to uplift my life and others.
I am worthy of wealth and abundance.
I am worthy of wealth and abundance.
I trust myself to handle money wisely and joyfully.
I trust myself to handle money wisely and joyfully.
The more I allow abundance, the more I can give and share.
The more I allow abundance, the more I can give and share.
I now align with prosperity, freedom, and joy.
I now align with prosperity, freedom, and joy. Woo!
All right, everybody take a deep breath. And tap it and kind of shake it out.
I'm ready to rock and roll now. I'm ready to go get it.
Well, that's the question. So I invite everybody to check in and see if it's anything has shifted for them inside. If you're feeling, remember this sort of contracted versus expansive. So look for that first. As I'm thinking about money, do I still contract, or am I now feeling more expansive? Am I still feeling heavy, or am I now feeling light? These kind of things are signs that you're letting go of a lot of this negative, these fears, negative beliefs, things like that, and are feeling more able to go forward. There's a big thing about this seeing opportunities thing. They truly are opportunities all around us. Mm-hmm. But when we're blocked, we are like blind to them. They're there. We don't even see them. Or if we do see them, it's like, we don't really go for it. Or maybe we lightly go for it, something like that. Once you clear this stuff, all of a sudden you'll get all these new ideas. You'll see all these opportunities will show up around you regularly because you'll be on the lookout for them and open to seeing them. And you'll have all these ideas as to things you can do, actions you can take, to make things happen. So it's pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool. No, and I will say, just the other day I was doing some tapping, and then the next week I had somebody call me for 2 business opportunities, and one I passed off and one I said yes. But the one I passed off, I'll get a 25% commission on it. So I'll take it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Y'all, this is just so cool because when you get your story straight in your head, you can absolutely move forward and make decisions. And here is my email. Should you want to send a topic you want to send in or ask a question, let me know. If you want any resources, extra ones, please email me and I will be happy to get all that information for you. Stefan, any last things that are just burning inside you want to share?
Well, I'm assuming you're going to put all the links and email addresses in the description of this video.
Yes.
I guess. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I guess I just want to give people more hope. Lots of times we can feel stuck for a really long time. I mean, I've talked or worked with people who were stuck for 2 decades, 20 years they were trying. And the great thing is that they never fully gave up. The sad thing was that they were not able to be successful after 20 years of trying. But once you identify the blocks and clear them, it's free sailing from that part forward. So these people who are trying for 20 years without success, all of a sudden, full steam ahead. And it's so exhilarating. It's so exciting. And it's so possible. That's the thing I wanted to leave with everybody.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing this amazing tool with us, because it is needed and people should use it every day or at least every week. All right, y'all have an amazing week and go get you some. There's my word for that. Go get you some. All right, y'all take care.
Bye-bye.